Hi everyone.
Hi guys.
Look at that. We are back in our loft.
Yeah, we are.
We don't know how long we're going to be here because we could all get the shits again, but hopefully not for a while. That's the plan.
So good.
So what are we here today to talk about? I mean, I think this is a pretty special video, isn't it?
This is really exciting. I mean,
what can we do?
We're back together for the first time. We're not on Zoom.
No.
We can poke each other and infect each other and everything.
Amazing.
We're back in the loft and we are here to smell the waft from the loft. Incredibly, we were sent these it was about a week and a half ago or something like that.
Yeah, they're still fresh hot off the press, is that what you say?
Yeah, I think they're kind of tepid. But we haven't tried them. We sent them, and unbelievably,
So exciting.
we just thought it would be nice to get our first try of them together.
Yeah.
And to try them in the place for which they were conceived.
Yeah, we couldn't try these anywhere else, but here, could we?
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
I feel a bit nervous.
It is quite nerve-wracking. I think we're going to love them. I mean, I already know we do because we smelled the prototypes. We've been on the journey together.
Here we are. So we've got the Wafts Parfum and the Wafts EDP. So Sarah said these are still, I guess you would describe them, if they were a wine, you'd describe them as young.
Yeah, they need time in bottle.
So she's giving them a bit more time to macerate, and she's not going to be sending out any of the Kickstarter bottles for a little while, but she did say these are ready for testing. So
let's do it. Let's just spray them. I mean, should we start with the EDP first? And
sure.
So there's an X-ray as well, of course, like you said, which could be completely different, or it could just be a variation on.
She said that the EDP was a little bit greener. So let's just go for it.
Let's do it. Spray it.
Might put a bit here as well, just to
let it fill the air. Already I'm getting good stuff.
You're getting...
Yes.
So the one thing, you're definitely getting the ambery woodiness.
Oh. That lovely rubber thing that I loved in the first place, that rubber beach ball leather.
Oh yeah, I was worried. I was strangely nervous before this, just in case, I got it completely wrong.
Of course, it's natural.
So
good.
It might kind of include some little snippets from the videos around the church, but I really get this. We wanted to capture the kind of experience of being in the church, and there's this polished dark wood everywhere.
The thing that we're filming on right now is all dark wood. It's a 300-year-old organ.
Yeah.
Do you know, it absolutely rocks my world. And it's kind of dank and gently spiced.
You also definitely get some of the incense, which is something we definitely wanted to have incense in this, but we didn't want it to become an out and out incense fragrance.
No,
because that seemed too boring really. But definitely that incense.
Do you get that rubberiness, that sort of beach ball on a hot day thing?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. It's something I smelt right back in the beginning when we were smelling the sort of initial samples.
There's quite a lot going on. We've talked a bit, if you've seen our videos about this before, we've talked about notes and materials, and there are a lot of materials in this. I think we were at 49 in the end. So, but a notes list is different to materials. We're never going to smell all of those 49 materials.
No.
But
it's the complexity that they all lend, isn't it?
It does feel like there's quite a lot going on. And I also get there's a little twang of funk.
Just a little something.
So this has actually...
Sort of beautifully judged.
In the end, this has got real civet and real ambergris in it, hasn't it? As well as a bit of styrax.
Yeah.
Which is going to give that gentle funk. And it's not, if you're worried about it's going to be absolute filth bag, it's not a complete filth bag at all.
And it's sort of surprisingly fresh somehow as well.
Yeah.
There's a sort of happiness to it.
It's got that kind of lift, and maybe it's just the kind of the incense and also she did in the end she was willing to put some aldehydes. I wanted some aldehydes, and Sarah wasn't sure about it. But I feel this is not overtly. But interestingly, today when we walked in the church this morning, there's quite a lot of wax at the moment, isn't there?
Yeah, and
they've been burning
really
lots of candles.
Snuffed candle effect.
And that kind of waxiness gives a kind of a candly vibe.
I think that's really, really good.
So there's just, at the moment, this is obviously just our first impressions. There's just a hint. It's just a hint of greenery, and it's not a bright green. It's definitely kind of a dark green. We'll show you some clips of the courtyard. So we have filmed in the courtyard downstairs before. And I just get that it's I was going to say I wouldn't go as far as saying mossy, but
there is a sort of a slight mossy dankness going on. It feels quite natural. It feels quite like it's taken from a scene, a specific scene.
Yeah,
it's like tobacco-y.
Yeah, there's a leafy tobacco-iness, isn't there? Both heavy smokers, obviously. So a lot of smoking in the church as well. Can we just try the X-ray as well?
Yeah.
Just to see how.
Actually, I feel like leaving it in the bottle. So that's the puff. There we go. I feel like leaving it in the bottle and not spraying it is a crime.
Go big. Oh, this now interestingly, I get more woodiness.
Quite different, actually.
Yeah, it's quite different, isn't it? I mean, she did say that the formulas are quite similar, but this smells quite different.
Quite a lot more vegetal, I would say.
Yeah. I definitely feel woodiness, though. I definitely feel this is more oody.
That absolutely. That I'm getting. I'm getting a really nice lean oud.
So we never actually
Not too skanky.
The oud she put in, which is from Dubai. Ooh. We never actually smelt that oud on its own, did we?
No.
So we don't know. We don't quite know how it works in it, but I guess this is the nature of a notes list and a materials list. It's not just how things work on their own; it's how they all combine together. Wow, it's interesting how different it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, really.
With the EDP,
Cousins.
I was getting more of a kind of an ambery polished wood, whereas this is more of a dark.
This has that lovely veneer lacquered wood thing going on.
Yeah, it's very like almost like those wooden screens, you know.
Yeah. God, it's bloody good, though, isn't it? I mean, that is. You know, if I smelt that blind and had no idea what it was, my nose would be immediately intrigued. I'm even more intrigued now because I know what it is. But my God.
I definitely.
Is it Divana that we smell? I'm getting a little bit of that coming through.
Is there that I'm getting some? I was just about to say fruit, like a dark fruit.
Yeah, there's possibly some slightly savoury, dark stewed fruit going on as well.
But I don't know. But is that just an
booziness.
aspect of kind of the oudiness, the woodiness as well, which has given that slightly boozy, fruity quality?
Quite possibly.
It's now the EDP, smelling it next to it, it now feels quite a bit brighter, actually, doesn't it? More aware of that incense, and it feels more energetic.
Do you know that because that is so rich, it's actually closed my nose down slightly to smelling the EDP,
Yeah.
purely because it's so complex.
Yeah.
That rubber is beginning to come through. That lovely rubbery leather is beginning to show now.
This definitely, the EDP definitely feels now brighter, I would say.
Yeah.
A little bit of that.
I find the EDP slightly greener than the X-ray. But she'd had it the other way around.
It's exactly what I was going to say. Did she put cucumber or something like that in it? There's some kind of bright greenness, which is giving this more kind of lift.
I kind of wish that Sarah was here right now to hold our hands and help us. But my God, she's a genius.
But it's quite not. It's quite nice to not be doing that. I think she's.
Yeah, absolutely.
We know we spent lots of time with her, and we were saying this earlier that fragrance isn't just about reading out a notes list and identify notes. It's about kind of what it smells like. Your experience of it.
I realised actually the more we try and break stuff down, the more we can actually completely destroy the the illusion and the magic of perfume.
Yeah,
we all try and do that, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like looking at an oil painting and saying, oh, you can see that pigment there, there's that pigment there, and it's got a specific blue there. Who
Doesn't
cares?
really matter. It's something that is a necessary part of perfumery in terms of giving people an idea what they have and what they're buying or what they're about to smell. But actually, for me, it's the experience of both of these that are absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
It was interesting. When I first smelled the EDP, I did get wood, but then I went to the incense and a bit of the garden, whereas I feel with the X-ray, it's definitely more about wood. And there's a hint of sweetness to it, but it still stays.
Just a little hint.
Yeah. Hint of that funk just creeping in now as well.
Yeah. And you know that, I have to say, I've not smelled all of Sarah's perfumes, but I think these they show how wonderful and diverse she is, because I don't think there's much in her arsenal that smells like this.
Yeah, it feels
what
quite...
a wonderful, diverse kind of...
Yeah. But then I think you'd be surprised, especially some of the things she's done recently, things like My Lovely Horse, or even... Burnt Cedar Rainbow Doves seem a little bit of a departure from her.
So she can do it all. I mean, to be able to do Ealing Green and A Kiss by the Fireside and then stuff like this as well. They're poles apart, both absolutely wonderful. But I'm getting like a really amazing kind of sweet fried something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, interesting.
Like a slightly like a donutty churrosy thing. I've smelled it before in a few things and I loved it.
I definitely, there's some of that with also some kind of fruitiness, like an almost overripe fruit, which just seems to segue like from the woods quite a lot.
Bit mossy again.
Yeah, I'm now starting to get the mossiness. It's interesting that I don't really get that kind of incensey aldehydiness, which I get a little bit with this one.
Yeah. This is far more fizzing and alive. The EDP is far more vibrant.
But then when we smelt it on its own, the first thing we said was wood, though, wasn't it? So we did get that kind of that warm richness. But this X-ray definitely feels more like a kind of big warm cuddle, doesn't it?
Yeah. The X-ray is more classical and it feels more vintage. It feels more like it's been sat in a bottle for 30 years, just getting richer.
Yeah.
As an X-ray would, I guess.
Exactly.
That's the idea.
It doesn't smell like a particular alcohol I can think of, but it's got that oak barrel aged effect that you get with some red wine.
Yeah.
It doesn't completely... Well, it does transform a lot of the wine, doesn't it? It really kind of gives it a body and thickness.
Or if you have like a really wonderful stout that's been aged in whiskey barrels, and it sort of, you get the impression of a stout, but then it's got this added layer of depth just running all the way around it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it heavy in any way. It gives it a complexity, a longer finish.
That's what I was going to say. Actually, this fragrance doesn't feel that heavy.
No.
Like it doesn't feel. It's certainly not a kind of a bang of things. It feels exactly what we wanted, in that it feels like the kind of experience of being, in the church and those things developing you.
And it feels very natural. It feels very round, very natural.
Yeah, and I don't think I agree with you, but I don't think it's not to say that it's not synthetic, because we know there are synthetic things in there. But I agree with what you said.
It's just so rounded.
Yeah. Oh, I just want to live with it a bit now.
Yeah, I'm going to wear this a lot. Do you know, it's like part of our journey. We were talking about this a bit. It's not just about the loft and the smells of the loft and the church. It's about the perfumes that we've loved and the things that we've sprayed.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it can be everything. It can be anything from a fresh vetiver to a sort of orange blossom thing to a leather to an animal.
We never smell any fresh vetiver things.
Not very often, but once in a blue moon we might have something with a hint of it. But it's that combination of everything. This is like a journey in perfume. I have to say I love them both, and they're both.
For me also, this one has got the quality. One of my favourite, I know I'm probably a bit weird, but one of my favourite things, my ways I most enjoy wearing perfume, is on my own, at home, like in the evening, maybe after an evening shower, just sat at home with a bottle of wine to just explore and get my nose stuck into it. I don't think there's anything about this which is going to be, offensive and off-putting to wearing in public. But for me, this is one I think I will just sit there and I'll wear it for me.
It's a wonderfully selfish experience, isn't it? Because you sort of take yourself on a long journey. You can sit there, you can explore. I think you'll get different things every time from this. Yeah. Already, it's doing a sort of complete chameleon.
Yeah.
And it's opening up, and it's almost like perfume in reverse, slightly. I started with quite a closed, dense thing that I couldn't immediately identify. Now I'm starting to get tobacco. I'm starting to get things. It's kind of unraveling in a nice.
And what I'm pleased
nice
about.
Timeline.
When we kind of first set up this,
good.
The reason why I said I didn't want something to be an out and out incense. I didn't want it to become an obvious church scent.
No, and there's so many of those.
And I don't think this is. It's not a church scent. It's a waft.
If you smelt this completely out of context, I don't think you'd ever make an association with a church.
No.
You wouldn't say this smells
This is church incense. No.
Which is what's beautiful, because it comes from that, but not obviously so.
Yeah.
It doesn't telegraph it with big arrows pointing.
So we need to live with this, don't we?
Yeah. Beautiful.
Exciting
thought
times.
that a little bottle like that could contain so much magic.
I can't wait to see what other people think about it as well.
Yeah.
And if they get the
Not long
experience.
to go now.
Not long to go. I think she said kind of August-ish. She'll be sending out the kind of Kickstarters.
Which is now.
And then yeah, it is. So kind of end of August-ish. And then she will be, selling it on her website.
Yeah.
So I'd love to hear
I will certainly be
what you
getting
guys
lots
think
of this,
about.
I hope.
Exciting times.
Beautiful. Well,
till next time. Happy sniffing.